Hi there, and welcome to Rose Sky Tarot. Now, this reading is for the sign of Virgo for the 10th of December 2018. Now, this is a general reading, so may not suit everyone, but hopefully there's a message in here that's just for you. Enjoy. Alright, let's have a look at these three cards. Now, we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the King of Wands in reverse, and the King of Cups. Now, is this you? Are you looking at your life and weighing it up and trying to decide whether or not it's worth continuing with? You know, is there too many rotten apples than you intended? Is it maybe overtaking what you thought was good? And maybe it's time to look at that and make a plan about how you want to go forward. And is maybe what you're reviewing your relationship with this person here, whether it's a man or a woman, it doesn't matter, because this relationship is a difficult one. Because this person is very domineering. You know, and it can be, I'll say he, but it can be a man or a woman. He can be very demanding and very arrogant in the way that he talks. You know, and if he asks for something or makes a decision on something, he expects that to happen and he doesn't expect any changes. You know, so it can be quite overbearing. And in moving on to the King of Cups, he can also be quite heartless and closed off. And, you know, between the domineering and the lack of heart, there, you know, is there maybe a lack of barrier of what this person will do? Okay, let's move these over. I'm going to move them to the bottom this time and have a look at the bigger reading. Now, I'll take the first three cards, and we have the Chariot in reverse, we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and the Tower in reverse. Now, are you wanting to make a change, but there's something holding you back? Or are you feeling that you can't actually make a change because you're feeling out of control? You don't have any control of where you go, you know, or what you do. And, you know, it could be that that's why there is a delay. You know, you're delaying choosing whether you stay or whether you go. Now, and moving on, are you in a situation where either a family member or your family as a whole or your relationship, whatever the connection is, it's one of pretense? You know, what is shown to the outside world is not the real relationship. Because this card represents a falseness, either keeping up with the people that surround you, or, you know, the love is not there, the finances are not there, or there could be so many domestic and family troubles that it's not the impression that you're giving out to others. And this has possibly been going on for a long time. You know, and it could be that this has ground you down and that you're actually scared of making a change. But this has been quite a long-term distressing period for you. And let's move on to the next three cards. When we have the world in reverse, we have the judgment card and the two of cups also in reverse. Now, have all of these things, the lack of movement, the family troubles, the constant distress or, upheaval, this has turned your world upside down. This is not the world that you thought you were going to walk into. And it's it's one that's fraught with difficulties. And it's something that, and moving on to the judgment card, are you maybe thinking that if you make a change to your world, that people will judge you? That all of these difficulties are overwhelming, and it could be that you've been delaying making this change because you don't want to have people thinking badly of you. But the thing is that in doing that, you're not really living your life. There's a life out there for you. One that's filled with fun and colour and vibrancy, and you're losing out for that. So maybe it's time to look at this situation again and maybe make the changes and start to get the colour back into your life instead of all the difficulties. But is the difficulties that you've been having and the reason why you're not making a change and worried about what people will say because of this pretense that you've got, this image of what you've put out into the community? Is there maybe a lack of love and caring in this relationship? Maybe is that maybe one of the reasons why you're in a constant upheaval? Are you maybe trying to hide all the arguments that you've been having? And moving down to the next row, we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Pentacles in reverse, and the Ten of Swords. Are you maybe not wanting to ask for help? Or are you not wanting to accept help? To leave this situation where there's no love or there's too many arguments going on? Is that why you're maybe delaying making a change to this environment? Are you still thinking that people will be uncharitable towards you, and judge you for this situation? Because, and moving on to the next card, is this person who's you're in this relationship with, are they quite disciplined? Do they expect you to do what they're wanting you to do? Or there will be consequences, quite harsh consequences, because this person is maybe a little bit inhumane in certain times. Maybe the, maybe there is arguments going on that affects you mentally or emotionally or physically even. And that is that what the upheaval is? This constant state of distress? Is there maybe some sort of destructive force coming from this person? And with each blow, with each wound that you receive, your desire to stay or put up with this behaviour becomes less and less, until the point that you have had enough and you just want to give up. You want to give in and end this situation. And it's a situation that you need to acknowledge is happening and that you want to end it. And I'm moving on to the next three cards, because we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. Now this is a fresh, new beginning. A new world. One that's filled with contentment and peace and opportunities that give you, financial support. And it could be that your wealth and your health begin to come back to you and you change this lifestyle that you've been leading to one that's filled with pleasure and love and abundance. And moving on to the Knight of Swords, have you been so devastated by everything that's been going on, and you finally acknowledged how damaging it's been, that with this new knowledge, is this what's funding your idea for this bright new change? You've had enough. You don't want to live this life anymore. And because of this dedication to this idea or way of thinking, are you running in without a plan? And because of that, because you want this new beginning and you just want it to start now, a plan is needed. And it looks as though there's a person there that you need to ask for help. Because this person has been and seen it all and knows the best way to work away from it. This person knows how to put a strategy in place to give you ideas of how to do things and how to communicate. Now, I'm going to bring these cards back. We had the Seven of Pentacles, we had the King of Wands in reverse, and the King of Cups in reverse. Now, looking at the bigger reading, it looks as though that you have reviewed a situation and you found it to be lacking in what you wanted your life to be. And the person that's causing this less than feeling is someone that is quite damaging, because they expect you to do what they tell you to do. They don't care if you don't want to do it. They expect you not to quibble, not to argue. And if you do argue, then the consequences can, be quite damaging, because they maybe, as this dominance got a link to losing control. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Now, I'm going to focus on these last three cards because this has been a very difficult path. But if this is a situation that you personally are in, because this is a general reading and it may not suit everyone, focus on these last three cards. There is a way out, there is a fresh beginning, but only you can do it. You need to make the decision that this life that you're living, that is constantly making you feel terrible, or emotionally or physically or mentally giving you wounds, there's a new beginning out there, and a fantastic new beginning. But you need to make a plan. You need to strategize with someone who's willing to give you honest advice, possibly someone who's been in a similar situation. And if this decision is made, then this bright new world, one of love, health, wealth, abundance, safety, is one that's there and ready and waiting for you. All right, now I hope this reading has given someone that needs it a little bit of advice for their personal situation, and I'll see you the next time. Okay, bye.